Hello, Donna. This is Dave from ChiefTutor.com. Training videos and Chief Architect. Why do I always forget that part? I say it all the time. Let's see. You sent in your plan. Thanks so much for sending the plan. It says here, I cannot find why I have split going on in the first floor. So here I have your plan, and let's go to, say, an outside view and try to understand what you mean by splitting the floor. I'm assuming this is what you mean. Certain parts are higher than others. Sometimes it's easy to look at the plan in a glass house view. So why don't we do that? Why don't we switch here to glass house view? And we can see the floor joist between the two floors. Yeah, so you can see how they kind of jump up over here. So yeah, you do have some rooms that seem higher than others. I'm assuming that's what you mean. I'm going to go to my full camera and stand in the kitchen, look towards the kitchen, and let go. And yeah, I could see that gap there between the floor and the hallway there and what you have here and what you have in the kitchen. So yeah, we can fix that. That's pretty easy and straightforward. In fact, why don't we leave one of these views open? We'll leave this view open, the glass house, so we can kind of see what we're doing while we fix it. So if this is the case, if you've been messing with heights, certain heights are lower, say the garage than the house, and then the house ceiling heights, from one floor to the next. And sometimes that can get confusing, and Chief can offset things for you, and it gets a little like, how do I get out of this? So I always like to go back to the default way that Chief builds the house. And if you want it built a different way, you could just change the default. That way, that particular project will always build appropriately. So when you went and measured that house, maybe you found out that the first floor was 8 feet, or maybe the first floor was 9 feet. So whichever it is, you can set that default to that. So as you're designing, you can always go back to the default, and you know that it'll always be right. And that's under the edit tool. So you'll see there's two options here. It's real neat to have them next together. It's default settings and reset to default. So I'm going to go to my default settings, and then under floors and rooms, you'll see floor levels. And if you double click that, there's the first and the second floor. Now, Chief likes to build from the top down, believe it or not. So we always want to draw the first floor, then draw the second floor. That's appropriate for how you draw the program. But once you've drawn the floors in, then you want to manipulate them from the top down. So you always want to start on the second floor. Click on edit, and it'll jump up these defaults. And from these defaults, you can tell what the computer is doing. Now, the computer's been told in the default to build the first floor at 9 feet, looks like, and the second floor at 8 feet. And let's assume that those heights are correct, and that's what you want. If I click OK, so that's what I want, it says, oh, this deck is a little wrong, so don't worry about it. And on the first floor, I'm going to edit just to double check. I want to make sure that this is set to my 9 feet, which it is. So we know 9 feet and then 8 feet upstairs. Okay, so that's all good. So if that's set that way, now watch what happens when I reset to default. So I want to go click down here, edit. Instead of default settings now, I want to check this reset to defaults. And you want to say all floors, floor heights, ceiling heights. And then you can even, if you've manipulated some individual walls, you can use these two check marks as well and click OK. And you'll notice that then it'll correct the model perfectly. So you can see that floor joist is running smoothly throughout the whole house. And now I have 9 feet here and 8 feet here. Let's go back into our room, and we'll see that everything's lined up good. Now here might need to be regenerated for your walls. So I'm just going to hit F12 on the keyboard, and that'll regenerate all my walls, windows, and doors, and kind of put drywall where drywall was supposed to be. So this is all one level. I'm assuming that's what you wanted and that's what you need. But if it wasn't 9 feet downstairs, let's say it was 8 feet, again, it's really easy to change that. Why don't we go back to our floor overview here, and I can go into edit, and I can go into default settings. And since everything's been already reset, when I do make the changes here, I'll notice them instantly. So I'll go to the second floor because I want to work from the top floor down. And I want to say that this same rough ceiling height should be on both floors. And I'm going to hit tab. So I've copied and pasted it right into the ceiling. Hit tab. And you'll notice on my diagram over here, it reads the same, 97, 97. Click OK. Click OK, and it's already, I can see it already made that change there. Now it's 8 feet. So let's go back into 3D camera, and now the ceiling is at 8 feet on both floors. So if I were to move up onto the second floor, I could see that this one is fixed as well for that 8-foot height. And so it's just as simple as that. The edit and the default and reset default settings can quickly get you to where you need to go. Well, thanks so much for watching and sending in your plan. I hope this helps learn a little bit more about Chief Architect and its fantastic tools. Okay, talk to you soon.